Welcome to the Tomb of Illumination and my whiteboard. Today's video is just in response to a comment I had quite a while back. I'll explain that in a minute, but I had to change my t-shirt right for the video. So and then I found the old joker here, the old clown, and then it made me think, well, you know, who confronts the clown? It's Batman, right? Well, a bat comes out of caves, dwells in caves. And like Plato's allegory, bat come out of the cave, wake up. You know, people actually finally wake up sooner or later. And then they go and confront the clowns because now they know the truth. They go and confront these clowns running a world who are lying to you all the time. Jokers. You know, so the average person is just the idiot being entertained by the clowns. Until you wake up, get out of your cave. Wake the heck up, go and see the light. Okay? Anyway, this video is about this comment by a viewer. I'll read it. This is by John Doe. I must have mentioned shadow band. You might want to go check out this video. Why the Globe Lie, Understanding Capacitance Between the Tropics. It's a video of mine, okay? Let's go back to the comment. Oops, disappeared. I'll find the comment now. Oh, flip. Okay, what do we got here? So he says, not shadow banned. Lack of traction is likely the unclear information which frustrates viewers. Maybe consider returning to first principles and working outwards from there. Well, my answer was, well, I only have 30 minutes. I can't explain the universe in frickin' 30 minutes. But I've got a camcorder now, so I can do a couple of hours. But it's not going to take that long, because it's quite simple, actually. So, what does he note here? What is a magnet? I don't know. What is a magnet? A magnet is something that's basically showing you the dual forces of nature. A north and a south pole, or a strong force and a weak force. Because it's basically what magnetism is, a weak force and a strong force. And in nature, in our realm, it's always seeking equilibrium, right? Well, in a magnet, not that I've been mentioning this before, it's at rest until you add the electrical. Okay, and then it starts moving. So a moving electrical will change the magnetic field cycle, and a change in magnetic field cycle will move the current, electrical current. So, but there is in each magnet there is there has to be, pretty sure there is, from what I've been showing. Well, I can show it on this ring magnet actually. There is the weak force and strong force, and there has to be a dielectric zone in there, a neutral zone. So I'll just show you a couple of things. So you think of magnetism as a dual entity, a dual thing, north and the south pole. But the funny thing is, with our Earth, our flat Earth, it's dual again. So you've got the centre north, you've got the tropical gap, and then you have the southern hemisphere, right? Well, you've got the magnetic field coming out of the south going to the Tropic of Capricorn, and the magnetic field coming out of the north going to the Tropic of Cancer. And in reality, not that you taught this is the North Pole, and this is the North Pole. It's a strong force and a weak force. So overall, they're just calling it North and South, but it's not. It's a lie, a big lie, because Earth gets broken down into a dual system. There's the North, there's the South. The magnetic field comes out of the North and comes around to the South. There's one magnetic field. We star trail the stars going like this. If you're on one meridian, everyone's on a meridian, north to south. You see your star trail there, and you'll see the northern star trail here, right? Depending on what latitude you are as to how much you'll see. But you say you've got north here, and we've got a south here, on the Tropic of Cancer. So there's one magnetic cycle there, and there's another one there. It doesn't quite work like that, because it works on a hole. It comes out of the north, around like that, around there, and back around there. Let's draw that a bit clearer. like that, and around the north like that. That's the sun and a lemma. That's the one way we can tell that we live on a flat earth system like this, where the centre diverges and the southern is expressed. If you look up in the sky, well, you can't look up in the sky, but you can film the movement of the sun all year, and it shows this. So if you're in the north looking this way, that's what you're going to get, because that's the north, centre north, northern hemisphere in here. The bigger, wider dispersed is out here. There's the tropical gap. And if you're in the south, you're going to be looking this way, and you're going to see it like this, because that is your north out here. All the energy comes around out of the north. The sun comes out of the south, out of the south, southern hemisphere, I should say, south here. And we shouldn't be saying North Pole, South Pole. So we've all been fooled, all lied to. So here's your strong force, and then that weak force around here. Okay? It's coming out of here. It's mirrored. All these points are like mirrored from the north. They're all meridians, but they're infinite. This is why you'll get the sun all the way around here. The sun is always moving around here, or right down and out. It's right around the Antarctica. It's always there. But man only sees as one circular rotation. Okay? So Earth is a dual system, a north and south pole in the northern hemisphere, and a north and a south pole in the southern hemisphere. Okay? Anyway, back to this guy's point. So, magnetism. What is a magnet? Wait till I get to this question, eh? So, what is a magnet? It's a hard one to answer. I suppose Ken Weller can answer that one for you. What is a plate? What does it mean, a plate? It means tectonic plate. You know, you've got a tectonic plate going down. You've got the human claustrum is a plate, a part, it tears inside the human brain at a certain time. You've got the tectonic plate, you've got the, does it mean the inertial plane inside the toroidal field? Overall, we got this, it's like an atom, and it hit the right frequency and bang, sets off the inertial plane here, and then the energy gets expressed out. But it becomes split. It became a dual system. This is all within the Earth, so it doesn't concern us. We dwell up there, and this is what we end up with. Tropical gap. You got one system here. You got a north and a south here, and there's a north Arctic and south here. North, south, south, north. Antarctic. Okay, so the poles are here, here and here, here and here. South, north, south, north. Capacitance between the two souths here. Check it out. Go look up your capacitance. Okay, what's it got here? What is a magnet? What is a plate? Oh, well, okay, the dielectric plane. It's basically the neutral zone between a north and a south pole. They cannot meet. This is called the father. They avoid the father. You cannot see the father. Invisible. It's at the center. All the actions around its horizon. Like the black hole is through the core of the Milky Way. You see all the action going around it. The Milky Way. Well, the magnetism is the same, because Earth is from the black hole. It's the resting state. Earth is fixed and stationary. The black hole center. All the actions around the outside. So this is a dielectric plate. And in our flat Earth system, the black hole in here, which has created us, basically the center of the hyperboloid initially, you know, so it's sort of in here, but then it breaks down like a magnet you get rid of all that, we end up with a system here where the black hole is. The Milky Way goes over there one end, and one end down here off the Earth. The two sides, male and female, weak, strong force, and the black meets at the black hole, which is the pure plasma sun up there too on its horizon, which moves around it. Black hole circle, sun on its horizon. Are they one or are they separate? No, there's one, but two. What is the field? Well, it's the magnetic flux, isn't it? In the Bible it says, along the ground thou shalt go, over the field, down along the ground thou shalt go, over the field, over the beasts and the cattle, and along the ground thou shalt go, for the rest of your days. They're talking about the serpent, the snake. This is what the magnetic field represents, is the snake. And there's your figure, there's your infinity symbol, isn't it? Okay, through here. What was that question again? What is a magnet? What is a plate? What is a field? So it's the flux, the flow of the field, trying to seek equilibrium. So you got the strong force in the north, strong force in here. Should we do that again? Strong force in the north. Well, that's a bit flat. Strong force in the north, tropical gap, the dielectric gap, okay. Now, magnetic field does not cross the tropics. Might come in a little bit, but doesn't cross, especially doesn't cross the, specifically doesn't cross the equator. And there's the southern hemisphere. Magnetic field will swing around like this, and it'll swing over there and go like that. Does not cross the tropics. And then it goes straight down to the ground, and then along the ground that should go and up and over again. Cannot cross over here. There's this dielectric gap, the black hole it's avoiding. So you're getting this 120 degree avoidance as it shoots under the ground. Okay? It's sort of doing this sort of thing, if you can imagine that. Okay, so that's what is a field? So it's the magnetic flow of the field, and it's only flowing and crossing because we've got a sun. The sun was created, which set everything in motion. But the image of the sun is out here, we see. The real one's back there, but it's in here. And this moves around. It moves around the tropical gap, right? Well, that moving around causes this to change at that point where the sun is. Or, that's another story, but anyway, consider that. It's changing, it causes the changing magnetic field, okay? Yeah, and our perceived physical world, that's what it has to do. It comes in and it'll spin around the sun and change and flows up. Flows up and then over to feed the actual plasma sun. So the energy is being created in here, comes over, spins around that sun and comes over here. But that's going a bit deep, okay? So it's the magnetic field, eh? It's in motion thanks to the creation of the sun. If they understood all this properly, they probably had the tokamak working by now. I've missed one. What is electron magnetism? What is electron magnetism? Electron magnetism. Should have looked up that question. Electron magnetism. Well, all electrons in there, isn't it? So you got a build up of the southern hemisphere and the little smaller hemisphere, haven't you? So this strong, compacted, strong force, because it's in the center here. I'm only just drawing one meridian. One there, one here. That strong force wants to seek the weak force to equal out. Same with the weak force, which is flowing to the strong, that's trying to find equilibrium. But due to this gap, they're not finding it. Okay? Now you think with a magnet, it would be equal, but it's not. There's something going on inside the magnet. There's this point where it's just not marrying up, which is obvious because you bring if that's the south and you say that's the north, you bring another magnet along, which is north here, it's going to stick to that. And the same over here with the south. Otherwise, if they were both even, they would cease to exist. There'd be no magnetic field, and this point here wouldn't stick. But you could imagine it sticking there, and it would stick there because it's equal. Okay. But if this one's not equal, like it's a 3:2 ratio, this just becomes neutral. If it's equal, it's neutral. It has to be the system. Okay? So it's a big field and a little field. How you want to draw it in the magnet is up to you. Because all magnets are different, aren't they? Designed differently. What is a field? Done there. Why does iron cling more to the outside of your example magnet than inside? Okay, well I must have shown him this magnet. Well, because it's more confined, strong force. So they're all flattened out in there. It's being sucked in more. And it's a weaker field, so you're seeing more of this sort of, look, the hairline. Right? You see that? But in the center there, it's a stronger field. It's more compact. Isn't it? Just like this. It's quite logical, isn't it? Or easy to understand. Why is a globe model impossible? Well, for the same reason. Well, their globe is symmetrical, isn't it? How can it be? They've ignored magnetism. Magnetism. How does that work? Big field, small field. 3:2 ratio. They're ignoring all that. Lying. Lie. All the fields spinning around the north and come out around the south. Spin around the south and around the north. Spin around the south, back and around the north. All centered on this northern region here. So they come out, they're infinite. Right? A bit carried away there, but all the way around. All the way around. If you want to donate some money to pay for pens, I'd appreciate it. I go through hundreds. There, so that is impossible. They've only put it on a tilt to try and explain this sun analemma idea. You know, so it's tilted away, then you get the faint top part of the analemma. When all along it's the centre Earth has the ecliptic plane that flexes like this. It flattens out at equilibrium at this point here, or towards there's a secret going on here, and then it starts going up and in for the northern hemisphere. The ecliptic plane is the 2D plane up here in creation. Ecliptic plane flexes and the sun follows the flexing magnetic field. So it'll go down and out in the southern hemisphere or up and in for the northern hemisphere. But realise, if you can film this up in the sky, that's 100% proof that the Earth is shaped like this. Reduces into the north. Okay? That's for the northern hemisphere. Yeah, for the northern hemisphere, but the southern is mirrored. It's getting a bit deep now, because in the southern hemisphere, see, you say it's north or Arctic. You've got the small picture, then it comes out to the bigger picture. Then you've got the tropical gap. So you can form one of these in the northern hemisphere, and then you've got the bigger southern hemisphere. And we get ours opposite. That's because this north is this north. The energy is around here. This is why the dip compass dips down here and it dips down in here because they're both north poles. One's just weaker than the other. Look, it's more dispersed around here than there. Okay? So in the southern hemisphere we look that way and we see our sun and a lemma. So yeah. So the proof is in here. Unless you understand all this, you know, the sun is infinite around here, you won't understand this. But it's mirrored. So there's the proof that you live on this thing here, and it reduces, just like a ring magnet. Okay, just like a ring magnet. And what are Cancer and Capricorn in this context? There's south poles. I've just been over there. Tropical gap, southern hemisphere, south poles, Cancer, Cancer, Capricorn. Okay, south, south, north, north. The star rotation here is mirrored across to here. This is mirrored out to there, one there. This is mirrored to there, one there. This is mirrored to there, there's one there. They're infinite because they're all mirrored from the center vortex. The center vortex of creation. It's turning. It's got an S, always turning. So it's always turning hour. But they're inverted because one's looking down this way and then for the northern hemisphere sky above the central vortex. But in the southern field, we're looking back through the stars this way. So we've got a rotation of stars all patterned out, and you're looking at it that way, and this guy's looking at it that way. It's going to be a little bit different, isn't it? Plus you've got to take into account that's more confined, and these are more expanded. I've been over that in other earlier videos, so check those out. There's all his questions answered. There is a huge audience for this information. Really? Oh, we'll see. Get it out there, everybody, and see what happens. You probably still won't understand me. They're so mentally locked on the spinning ball bullshit here. Okay? Cannot be a ball with a nice and even split 50-50. How's the magnetic socket going to work? They have to make up all the bullshit about everything being out there in La La Land. The sun being out there in La La Land. That is the electrical circuit. How's it feeding our Earth? Magnetism needs the electrical element for the changing magnetic field. Everything is changing and moving all the time, trying to seek out equilibrium. That's nature, trying to seek out equilibrium. Okay? Strong force, weak force. Where's all this? With the sun's way over there and the moon's way over there. All the stars move around our Earth due to the cycle here, S cycle. You express that out, you start understanding the path that stars are taking when you understand this. And understanding they start from here and come out like that. And in the north they come out and go around like this. The two systems. Dual, two systems. Strong force, weak force, but at the end of the day you've got two souths and two norths. You've heard it here first. The only guy in the world that's explaining all this, so you're all privileged. It'll make history one day, but if you leave the Freemasons in control as your slave masters, you're all screwed. Generation after generation. How long's it been? Nobody's woken up. They still rule the world today. All lies. Well, if you like this sort of thing, think about joining my Patreon. Put a thumbs up or likes. What do they do? Put a like up, and don't forget to share it and subscribe. Thanks for watching.